Hi everyone, my name is Jeremiah. Welcome to the channel. If you are someone who loves staying updated with the weather, whether for travel, other activities, or just for everyday planning, this video is for you. Today I'm excited to share and introduce you to a simple web application. I built this using NextJs, which is a React framework for building full-stack application. This app provides weather real-time updates. It lets you check the temperature, humidity, and wind speed for any location worldwide. But wait, there is more. In this video, I'll be walking you through a live demo of the application and also the core features and how they work. And I will also go through the behind the scenes and look at the code and the APIs and use. And finally, how you can build one for yourself. This is the application currently. And as you can see, we have a search bar where you can enter a city or a location and you hit enter, which is the submit button here, the icon here, and immediately you see the name of the location, the temperature, the weather condition for that location. And as you can also see, the application is responsive, which means on smaller devices it responds also. So let's take a look at how the code works. All right, so this is the home page for our application. This app is built with NextJs, a React framework for building full stack application built on top of React. So let's go through a breakdown of what really happened. Now, if you look at the app, you will see an input with button component. The input with button component handles the logic for the user input and fetches data when they enter a city by name. And so when the user enters data, this handle location is a property of input with button, and it's the function you call the set location function. That means when a user enters the location, the set location function will set the current location to that location. When the location is gotten, in the line 18, you come to see that a function is called useQuery library function calls the weather location with that particular location. And what the weather location does is that it takes a location and trim that location. If there's no location, it will return location input is error. If there's a location, the Open Weather API, I use the Open Weather API to fetch data for that location. So I'll give it a location, and that location, the API is going to return the latitude and the longitude of that particular location. And when it returns the latitude and longitude of that particular location, the state of the use coordinate and set coordinate will be changed to that particular latitude, and longitude according to the line 13. So when the state changes in that manner, it means user coordinates have changed. If the user coordinates have changed, then the line 54 will pick it up, which means that it's going to get a weather location based on the latitude and the longitude that is provided by the get weather location. So you query the data and set that data to the weather as the weather. So when it set it to the weather, it returns the weather, an object that contains the name, the location, the name, the humidity, the temperature, and order and description of the weather condition. So if there is a weather from the line 18 down 83 down to 87, the weather information will be displayed. If there is no weather data is available. So let's just go and check for a city that with just one line and see no data is available. No data is available. So if I type, I think there's a bug here. Okay, there is no network. Let me quickly on my data, connect. And go back. Okay, all right, you can simply see that I was out of network, so the API call could not go directly because the network was out. So, and that's the functionality simply of the weather application. So there are some things I would love to talk about NextJS and React in my application. So while I was building this app, I discovered some few bugs, and I learned a lot from it. And one thing I learned about is that every page in NextJS is a server component, except it explicitly states that it is a client component. Let's take, for example, while I was trying to use client, the use client here, for me to be able to set up use query, TanSTack query, I need to provide it a client. So I tried using the client directly here, but I was running through an error, and I discovered that I cannot use client in a server component because the layout is also a server component. And because I then decided to make this a client component by using use client here. But what I discovered then that if I do not use any of these values in this place, the app will throw an error, because as I export this thing, it means that it's available in all the pages in the app. But without use client declaration on top, I can no longer use it. So for me to be able to use TanSTack query, I had to provide it a service provider component. So the service provider component simply returns a component that holds TanSTack query client, and I gave it the client of the query client, and then exported the component. So I came back to the layout and provided it, which means that all the pages under this application will have access to service provider to use query client. And that was how in the home page I was able to access use query from TanSTack query. So TanSTack query is also very powerful in fetching and caching data in web application. Okay, there are some bugs in this application, and the bugs is that if you search for some of the country name or the city name, the API does not return a precise latitude and longitude for them. So because of that, it will result to a different location weather forecast. So in subsequent time, I plan to restructure the API or use a different weather API to make sure that it gets accurate result for the location that the user provide for it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you got an insight on what you can do, and also if you really want to modify this application to suit your need, you can simply check the link below my GitHub and fork the repo for it. It's over here, so you can fork the repo for it and then make modification as you want. Thank you very much. Please make sure to like, comment, and if there's any question, is there anything that you really want to help me understand more, you can still do it. I'm open to learning and also to connection and also to project that will enhance people's life.